Stop recording. You better not show this. If me eating a blizzard shows up on the next video, you're in bud. Hey guys, as you can see today, I'm in my truck. Unfortunately, I'm not back by the terminal, so we're going to have to do this by Zoom today. The reason we're doing this topic is we've had a lot of comments from new drivers coming into the industry on what can they expect to make as a new driver coming into the industry, into the trucking business. I've reached out and I've talked to several other companies, including our own, as to what they can expect, people can expect to make coming into this business. So right off the top, what we're going to do is we're going to let you know that everybody's miles are going to be different. The average industry right now is between 2,500 miles and 3,000 miles a week. Okay, so I've averaged this. So we're going to take an average number of 2,800 miles. So all of these numbers that I'm going to throw out there and dollar figures and amounts are going to be based on a 2,800 mile week. If you're doing more, then do the math yourself. You can probably throw the dollars together and you can figure that out. If you're making less, same, you'll be able to figure it out. Just a quick disclaimer. The rates we're about to give you are based on running out of the Southern Ontario region. For example, if you run out of our Toronto yard, depending on where you live, what part of the country and what region you're in, the rates will change. For example, with our company, if you run out of the Toronto yard and you're running vans and reefers, with your bonuses, you're going to make somewhere around up to 62 cents a mile. If you're running flatbed, you're going to run up to, with your bonuses, about 65 cents a mile. But we also have a terminal out in Moncton. So that's an Atlantic province. You try and say that. And if you're based out of our Moncton terminal, you're going to be somewhere about, with your bonuses for vans and reefers, you're going to be somewhere around 57 cents a mile. And again, with flatbeds, you'll probably be up around 65 cents a mile with your bonuses. And when I say with your bonuses, I mean, you get mileage bonuses if you hit a certain plateau. If you're pulling reefers, if you're pulling dangerous goods, there's always a couple of cents a mile more. So if you meet all of those criteria on a regular basis, depending on which end of the country you live at, you're going to make obviously a different rate. And the reason they do this, you live out in Moncton, your cost of living is significantly cheaper. Now it's slowly going up, unfortunately for you guys out there, but it is still cheaper to live out there. I can buy a home out there for almost half of what I bought my home for in Ontario. So they compensate us a little more because our cost of living is a little more out here. The Atlantic guys do make a few cents a mile less. And just keep in mind, guys, everything that I'm talking about here, this is all based on Canadian prices. So if you're an American driver and you're tuning into this, you're going to have to do your own research depending on which state or county that you live in. Because obviously your prices or your rates are going to be significantly different than ours. One of the lowest rates I've been able to find for a new driver coming in, and that's if a company will take you right out of school, is about 45 cents a mile. So on 45 cents a mile, on 2,800 miles, and this is on a week, that's coming out to $1,260. So $1,260. After tax, you're probably going to clear about $950. That's on the low end of the scale on 2,800 miles. If you're running 3,000 or 3,100, do the math. You can do it yourself. Now, the average in there is somewhere between 45 and 65 cents. And now this is just regular company drivers. These aren't specialty drivers. We're not talking about oversized, overweight, anything specialty, doing double drop work, any of that. This is just standard flatbed and van drivers, including reefer and heater box. So that's what these numbers reflect. I was talking with a friend of mine named Sean. He's a driver trainer at KBD Transportation out of Iroquois. Really good company, by the way. They start their new guys and they take drivers right out of school. Their guys come out of school. You go with the trainer. You'll go with Sean. When you get your truck, you're going to make 45 cents a mile. After a few months, you will be bumped up to 47 cents a mile. So on 47 cents a mile on 2,800 miles, that's $1,316. After tax, you're going to probably clear about $1,000. Now remember, that $1,000 that you're going to make, that's not just what you're going to make. Most companies, including our own, when you do pickups, drops, tarps, you get paid extra. Now, and here's an example. Even though I'm not a company driver, I'm an owner operator. Last Thursday, I ran out my miles. I came into Toronto. I had 5 drops. I don't make anything on the first drop, but the additional 4, I make $50 a drop. So I made an additional $200 on my day for the additional drops. And a lot of companies, I would say that most companies do that. They will pay you extra for your drops. They might even pay you for the first one, but most of them will pay you for your additional drops, and they will pay you for if you got to tarp a load. I think the average right now is about $50 to tarp it, $50 to untarp it. It might be a few bucks more, it might be a few bucks less, but that's about the area you're going to be in. But if you're making 47 cents a mile and you're taking $1,000 home, but you're probably going to have $200 to $300 worth of additionals. You know, you're tarping, you're untarping, you're loading, you're unloading. So on your $1,000, let's just say you round that up another $250. You're going to take home $1,250, $1,250, and that's on 2,800 miles.
Hey guys, Ronan here. I wanted to personally thank you for watching this video. I've been recruiting drivers for about 15 years now, and I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of how drivers are getting mistreated by their current employers and how they're being taken advantage of by our current industry providers. So I wanted to create a channel in order to unite North American drivers, share my knowledge, educate drivers to become more successful, and hopefully one day to make a positive impact on our industry. Some concerns that I have in our industry revolve around how drivers are being mistreated by their current employers, safety on the road, parking for drivers, and driver compensation. When we unite, we can make a difference. This video on this channel is not meant for recruiting purposes. As me and my team continue to produce high quality and interesting videos, I do need your support in order to make a difference in this North American market. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you're enjoying the video you're watching, give it a thumbs up. And now, back to the video.
And then you get up into the higher ranges. For example, our company would pay you 65 cents a mile, but we don't take new drivers. You need 2 years of verifiable experience to work for ET. Now, if you've got that and you pass everything and everything's good, they put you in your truck, you go through the seminar in the beginning, and you're going to make 65 cents a mile. Now, 65 cents a mile on 2,800 miles, you're going to make $1,820 a week. After tax, you're probably clearing $1,400. Again, you're going to throw in, we don't tarp, we pull roll tights. So you're going to be pulling, you know, for loading and unloading, your first one's free, but after that, your additional is $50 load, $50 unload. So if you're making $1,450 a week, you can probably throw again another $200 on. You're going to clear $1,600. Now, $1,600 really is not that bad. Even if you were making 47 cents a mile and you're making $1,000 a week with your additionals on top of that, you're making $1,300. That's still not bad either. You know, $1,200 a week, if you're paid bi-weekly, is 24. You're clearing $4,800 a month. If you're a single guy, you're doing really well. If you've got a family with a second income, you're still doing well. These aren't bad wages. And that's based, like I said, on 2,800 miles. You roll your ass off and you run 3,000, 3,100, 3,500. The sky is the limit. It's dependent. A lot of this will also depend on how hard you want to work, you know, how fast you can get the job done safely, of course. Flatbed pays more, vans pay less. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give you before, like what you're going to make, and then I'm going to give you after tax. After tax is what you take home. So don't get excited when you hear the first number. It's the second number you want to hear. So if you're making 45 cents a mile on 2,800 miles, you're going to earn yourself $60,480 a year. After tax, you're going to clear about $48,000. It's not bad. Okay, you're not killing yourself here at 2,800 miles. These are respectable miles, but you're not working and killing yourself for that. Okay, on 47 cents a mile, you're going to make $63,168. Again, that's not bad, but it's the second number you want. The second number on that, and this is what you're going to take home, is about $51,360. Again, $51,000 is not a bad wage. Now, if you're at the top of the line, okay, now some companies pay a little bit more than 65 cents, but a company driver making 65 cents a mile on 2,800 miles, you're going to make $87,360. And then you're going to clear $69,600. So $69,600, round that up to say $70,000. Now, all of these take home numbers that I just gave you, please remember that there's going to be extras. I didn't put any extras on. If you're a flatbedder and you're tarping and you're getting paid for your loads and your unloads, you're probably going to make yourself another $3,000 to $4,000, depending. It could be more, but on average, $3,000 to $4,000 a year worth of incidentals, like tarping, untarping, loading, drops, picks, everything like that. So if you're making $48,000, you can probably safely say you're going to add another $4,000, say $3,500 to $4,000. So you're at $52,000. You're going to clear, take home in your pocket. If you're at $51,000, if you're making 47 cents a mile, you're at $51,000. You can probably bump that up to about $55,000 worth your extras. $73,000. You know what? That's not a bad wage. You can live on that. You're not going to become a millionaire, but you can do okay on 71. And again, like I said, I'll round this out. That's only on 2,800 miles. I myself, I run more than 2,800 miles. A lot of the guys that work for us and a lot of the guys that work for other companies that I speak to on a regular basis, they're north of 3,000 miles a week. If you think you're going to work for a company and they're saying we're going to run you more than 3,000 miles a week, do the math on it. You can do okay. For the US guys, I want you to remember, these are all in Canadian funds. I work for a Canadian company, so everything that I'm giving you here is in Canadian dollars. If you're an American driver, I can't so much say what you're going to make and what a good rate, what a bad rate is, or what your tax rates are, because you guys' tax brackets are significantly different than ours. So just remember, these are all in Canadian. The tax rates change from state to state, a lot like they do in Canada with our provinces, but you guys have it's a lot more. So you'll have to take the numbers that I've given you for mileage and cents or whatever. You can also find, obviously, your a cent per mile is going to be a little different. Just work the same formula, right? You take your cents per mile times 2,800 miles, if that's the average, or 3,000 miles. You do the math on that, and you'll be able to figure out roughly what you're going to make and what you're going to take home. Again, in Canada, we do it one way. Our taxes are done this way. I can't give you the numbers for an American driver. There's a misconception in life in general that white-collar jobs pay more than blue-collar jobs. And I think I've shown here to just a small degree that, you know what, blue-collar jobs, and that's what truck drivers are. We're blue-collar workers. We're out here slugging it out. But if you do it right and you're smart, you can actually make a good wage out here. And in this case here, I know truck drivers that are company drivers that are within their first couple of years. You know, they get through the training, they get through, the first year, maybe the second year with the lower pay. But once you get into the second and third year, the farther along you go, the more cents per mile you're going to make. You will do well. And like I said, I know company drivers that are north of 80 to 85,000 bucks a year, 90,000 bucks a year. I got a friend of mine I mentioned earlier. He's close to 100 grand a year. That's not bad for a blue collar worker. I know white collar guys that aren't making that. And yet I've got blue collar friends that are driving truck making more than they are. It's not a bad career if you're thinking about it. If you've never stepped in a truck and you've never been a truck driver and it's something that you want to do, these numbers, and again, nothing's in stone here. Nothing's absolutely 100% guaranteed. I'm not saying if you do this, this is how much you are going to make. That's not the case. But these are the averages and you can do well. And if you're thinking of coming into this business, if you can, like I said, if you get through the first couple of years, you can do well for yourself. You can make money here. As you can see, I got parked and it got dark. Like, I don't know about all of you guys in there, but all I see is like just a beard here, a beard and maybe a forehead. If you're a new guy coming in, know that you're going to be running somebody as a company driver. You're going to be running somebody else's truck. You're going to be running under somebody else's authority, but these are the dollars you're going to make. You do that for a while, then you can make the jump to owner operator if that's what you want. And then the next step after that is running your own authority, but that's way down the road. And we've got some videos about being an owner operator and how to operate and some of the ups and downs. And we're going to have some future videos coming up shortly on running your own authority and things like that. So stay tuned for those. But right now, I guess I am out of daylight. And unfortunately, I've only got one working light in my truck. So I'm going to say, see you later. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a like, man. And everybody be safe. Talk to you later.